Good morning, Your Honor.
Ms. Mendez, good morning. Ms. Mendez, let me get to your case and have it pulled up here. The state at that time was asking for essentially first offender probation. After looking at Ms. Mendez's criminal history, I determined she had at least 2 prior DUIs and had one pending in Alabama. And there were a couple of more possible DUIs in another state. So I was not comfortable with the recommended sentence, but I wanted to get more information. So I set it for sentencing yesterday at 8:30. Ms. Mendez did not show up. However, her brother did get her here maybe 45 minutes later and explained that he had a vehicle trouble and it was not Ms. Mendez's fault. So based upon the likelihood that I was going to impose an incarceration sentence anyway, I asked that Ms. Mendez be taken into custody and we would see her this morning for sentencing. Mr. Mendez, tell me about what you're requesting as her brother. I know that you expressed some concerns when she pled about these reoccurring alcohol consumption related crimes. So tell me what your position is.
First, Your Honor, I do want to apologize again. There was no intent to disrespect this honorable
I
court
understand.
for yesterday.
Appreciate that.
My sister spent a good majority of her young adult life just coming into her adult life in a college town which she kind of had a hard time leaving. 9 years spent there, 7 of those years educating herself at Rutgers University in New Jersey. And it kind of came with her. She's a great person, very amicable, and she actually has good intent for society. Her addiction is a problem.
2 things this letter mentions. One is transportation being provided to the program. Are you willing and able to get her there? The second thing is it says they require certain blood tests or a charge of $150. Has she had the blood test or do you have the ability to pay the $150?
Your Honor, the blood test has a turnaround time, which I felt was going to be a little bit unneeded. If the fee is just $150, I much rather come out of pocket for the $150 fee, let them test her there, which is what the fee is initially covering, is the cost of the blood work. Let them test her there and then let them have the turnaround time while she's in custody at that facility versus us having to wait for the local laboratory to actually release records.
Okay. When are you asking that she be allowed to go if I let her go there?
As soon as this honorable court decides it's worthy.
Okay. So anything else we need to know about?
No, sir.
Mr. Mitchell.
I guess the only question I have is the Teen Challenge program you said was for a year. Is that what it is? Is there any chance of getting out of the program or does she have to do a full year?
So the program is for 1 year, mandatory. She has to continue. The being on-site facility may not be a year. There is a minimum, I believe, from what they explained, of 3 months. It may be extended, but it is only merited any condition or privileges that she may have based on her advancement and process or progress within the program. But the program is mandatory for 1 year. There is a cost associated with that program, anywhere between $1,000 to $3,500 a month, which we are ready to pay. And that is.
Okay. I think that's all I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodson, what about the program? I know you've dealt with Teen Challenge before. How long is the inpatient portion minimum?
I haven't seen anybody with Teen Challenge.
Yeah, I want to make sure she can hear you, please.
Now, I haven't personally dealt with Teen Challenge in several years, but we used to send a lot of people to Pensacola. My understanding of the program then, that may have changed now, is there is a residential requirement. I think your name, sir? Mr. Mendez is referring to, my understanding is 3 months residential. And then the people that we have sent previously to Pensacola, they still remain on the facility, but they are allowed privileges like to go out and work. Sometimes most treatment facilities, 3 months to 6 months, they may be allowed a weekend to come home and visit, but they still remain in the facility. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell, what's the state's position?
As it stands right now, Your Honor, we have no objection to her entering into the Teen Challenge program.
Okay. And Ms. Mendez, now is your turn, ma'am. Anything you want to tell me or tell me what your thoughts are about this program that you've been accepted to?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to know if you were to sentence me to jail, what the duration of that sentence would be
1 year,
compared to a year in rehab program.
1 year, it'd be the same. The difference is, if I sentence you to a year in jail, you may or may not get gain time. You're going to do a minimum of about 10 months minimum. I believe that calculation is about right. Is that correct, Corporal?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Whereas if I sentence you to 1 year in the program, you've heard your brother say Teen Challenge is going to require a minimum of 3 months there, and then you're going to have an aftercare program, and who knows, I can't tell you any more about it than he already told us. Whether you would be living there, I don't know, but I would require you to complete the program because I want you to complete the program. And if you complete the program, then any balance of any incarcerative sentence will be forgiven.
I understand.
Any other questions?
I do have a question. If once I enter the program, for some reason I find that it's not working, will I have the opportunity to transfer to another program?
No, you will have the opportunity to come back and do your time in jail, though. No, I'm not going to let you jump from program to program. So you need to be committed to this program. If you decide to do this, if it doesn't work out, you don't like it, that's okay. You just go back to jail and you finish your time there. But we're not going to go from program to program to program. We're not going to do that. Any other questions?
Will I be allowed the opportunity to possibly find a program that may be closer to home, Dothan?
Sure. You're going to be in jail while they're looking for one. But if you want to do that, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not dead set on this particular program. But you know, this is what your family is recommending. And if you don't want to go, the time to tell me that is now. You're going to be in jail. I want to sentence you today, and you're going to be in jail while you're waiting. It sounds like I have doubts about her willingness to complete the program based upon her questions today, but let her finish and we'll see if you want to add anything. Ms. Mendez, any other questions?
No.
Okay.
I can't
Mr.
think
Goode.
of any other
I went
questions.
over,
I'm sorry, Ms. Mendez. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were through. Go ahead, ma'am. What were you about to say?
I can't think of any other questions right now, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr.
I
Goode.
went over the specifics of what you would require yesterday with her brother and her, and I explained to her that if you were to consider that, that means she would stay there and she would complete the program. If she leaves, there would be a warrant issue for her arrest. If she gets kicked out of the program for non-compliance with their rules, there would be a warrant issue for your arrest. So she's familiar with the ramifications of not complying and not completing.
Okay. You want to add anything else, sir?
Yes, sir. Just so the court is aware, I will have power of attorney over her stay there. There is no jumping from program to program. This is unfortunately a withdrawal talk where things become highly anxious, and it's a mental state of mind of where she is speaking from that point and angle.
So given that, am I better off not letting her go today, but letting her go through this withdrawal period, as you call it, in jail, and letting her go next week if she wants to go then? I don't want to make a decision today, going to this program, staying a day, leaving, and then having to do the year in jail. I don't want to do that.
So the program itself has a 21-day hold where there is absolutely no communication with the outside world for that purpose. And it's guided counseling withdrawal where she would have someone to, and it's a faith-based program. So a lot of it would be based on going to church and understanding where she is in life and how she can become a better person. And I truly believe that the betterment of that withdrawal will be served within that 21 days.
Okay. So Ms. Mendez, I'm going to sentence you at this time. I'm going to go ahead and sentence you to 1 year in the Jackson County Jail. I'm going to give you credit for the time that you've already served in jail. And that amount of time is how much, Corporal?
15 days.
15 days that you have credit towards that sentence. I'm going to impose a standard court costs and fines. It's in misdemeanor court, so we'd treat it as a third offense, DUI, which is, she actually has more than that according to the criminal history that I've got.
2,600. Well, since she has John today.
No, she doesn't have John today.
All right, so $2,553.
$2,553 court costs and fines. That'll be a civil judgment. That's the sentence. Now, where you serve that program is up to you. Okay, I'm just sentencing you to a year in jail. I can't force you to go to a faith-based program. I'm not even going to try. If you decide to go to that faith-based program or to a different program of your own choosing, I would consider it depending upon the program. The factors I would look at is how long is the end portion in-house residential portion of the program. That's one of the key factors I look at, as well as is the program going to work with probation and notify them if you leave, those kind of things. So
Okay.
you do not have to make a decision today. I don't have a problem with you saying you want to think about it. You want to ask your family to look for a different program, that's okay. But if you know you want to go to Teen Challenge in Columbus, Georgia today, then I'm going to address that now. So do you want to make a decision on going to this program in Columbus now? Or would you rather your family to look for other programs over the course of the next several days and me see you again next week and see where we stand?
Judge, can I make a suggestion that she talk with Chaplain Pippin? Because I know we have some non-faith-based, and I think that is the issue, is the faith-based part of it. And I know we may have some, I prefer maybe, I think it might be wise to let her talk to Chaplain Pippin and see if there's
Ms.
anything
Mendez, would
that's
you like to
not-
talk to Chaplain Pippin before making a decision then?
Yes, Your Honor, I would appreciate
Okay.
it if I can speak to the chaplain, see if
So-
he is aware of any programs that are similar, closer to Dothan.
Yeah, and the other programs, I think the minimum inpatient portion is 6 months, and they may not be designed strictly for alcohol, but we'll let you talk to Chaplain Pippin, and your sentence is imposed. That means you're getting credit for the time that you're there. So once speaking with him, I'll be glad to consider next week. We need a little notice. Corporal, if we're going to see her next week, I need some notice so we can give her brother notice of what's going on. So if you'll leave your contact information with Mr. Goodson in the probation office. But right now she's doing the jail sentence. And if she finds a program that I want to pick somewhere that she's going to complete, because if she doesn't complete, everyone in the courtroom knows what's going to happen. It's what I do. It's what I'm going to do. If she leaves that program, she's going to finish the jail sentence. If she gets kicked out of the program, if she gets caught drinking alcohol while she's in the program and they kick her out, then I gave her a shot. That's all I can do.
I agree, Your Honor. It is up to her. She is not all. What I would like to make clear for the court is that as her brother, I'm not her brother's keeper, right? I'm not going to continue to come out and continue to have her have undecisive moments where she isn't looking to make a decision on her future. I have 5 children of my own from 21 years of age down to 7 years of age. And I'm not going to, there was a week elapse for this court, for her to find this program. And through my research, it was found and implemented.
I appreciate the effort you're putting in, trying to help your sister. And whether she takes advantage of that or not is up to her. My guess is you've helped her several times before, and it hasn't done much good. And sometimes they just have to find their own way. So she's got a year in jail. If she can do it right there at that jail if she wants to, that doesn't bother me one bit. I think it would be better for her to find a program that she will complete, because the fact is, without treatment, when she finishes her jail sentence, she's probably still going to have an alcohol addiction. She needs to find a treatment program that she has faith and confidence in, and then can successfully complete it. So, Ms. Mendez, ma'am, your sentence is imposed. I know I wasn't real clear on the sentence. The driving offense was a first-degree misdemeanor also. What was it, a first degree?
I think I got it, that as being a first offense, so it may be a second.
So on the driving license suspended, I can only give you 60 days in jail concurrent. So you've got a 60-day sentence with the same amount of credit. You'll finish that driving while license suspended sentence long before you finish the DUI sentence. And if you find a program that you're interested in, we'll see you next week and talk more about that program. Ms. Mendez, do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor. I want to thank you for considering the rehab program and for giving my brother the opportunity to speak for me. I do want to enter a rehab program. I just want to have the opportunity to see if I could find one that's closer. But I know that my brother did spend a lot of time and effort looking for this specific program. So
Yeah, I think that we
I will
have,
choose
Columbus is
to-
about, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I will choose to proceed with the program. I want
Columbus
to
is
speak
about
to the
2 hours
chaplain.
away. You paused for an unusual length of time, so I think you're through speaking. You're not. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. I think you're through. So finish speaking, and then I'll say what I was going to say.
Sorry, Your Honor. I was saying I do want to enter the program. I just want to have the opportunity to speak to the chaplain to see if he's aware of any other programs that may be similar or closer. But if he doesn't have any information for other programs that are similar, then I will proceed with this one.
The closest one to Columbus is about 2 hours away. The closest one we have is Chrome's not Ladies though. The Ladies Chrome's in New Orleans. What about Is there a promised land in Crawfordville for ladies? What's that, an hour and what? The closest one geographically is about an hour and 45 minutes. Pensacola's roughly 2 hours. Yeah, so it's not only close to where you're at now, it's also close to your family. That's part of the equation. But we'll see what
Okay.
happens with your further search, okay?
I will accept the rehab program that my brothers found for me.
Okay, I'm not going to do that today. I want you to talk to the chaplain and I'll see you next week, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day. Thank you, sir, for
Thank
coming.
you,
And if
too.
you'll leave a number with Mr. Goodson, whether you come or not, it's up to you, but we'll notify you when she's on the docket, okay? All right,
I
thank
don't
you.
wear that obligation. Family member, 8 siblings and they all have their quirks and I'm the eldest.
Yeah,
Eight
I have-
siblings and 5 children.
I have 2 sisters, one older, one younger, and I'm kind of like a rose between 2 thorns. That's all I can do. Best I can do to keep them out of trouble.
Thank you, Your Honor. I really appreciate your time and consideration.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.